At a high level, this recruiting process consists of 4 steps: advertisements, administrative high volume screening and automated scheduling, a group interview, and a final interview. And we'll dive more into those details, but let me paint a picture of what it could look like over a 30 to 90 day period for you. Our average door-to-door sales client is looking to retain 5 to 10 plus commission-based sales reps over a 90-day period. Now, when they work with us, they're only responsible for the group interviews and the final interviews. And really what that looks like from a week-to-week basis is they're doing a couple group interviews weekly. These group interviews are 20 to max 30 minutes long, and they're doing 5 to 10 final interviews weekly, which are 30 minutes each. So in total, they're investing about 5 hours of time on average. And the result of that weekly is them signing 2 to 3 reps per week. So as an example, if I do a couple group interviews weekly, 5 to 10 final interviews per week, and I'm consistently investing that 5 hours per week in group interviews and final interviews, as well as recruiting 2 to 3 reps per week, which is 8 to 12 reps per month, well, over 90 days, I've recruited 24 to 36 sales reps. And with a 20+% retention rate out of those 24 to 36 sales reps, I've retained somewhere in between 5 to 10, sometimes more reps over 90 days. Most likely over that 90-day period, I have 1 to 2 killers on the sales team, and the rest are those average Joes, that middle 30% that we talked about, who are showing up consistently and doing the work and producing quota. So let's go back to the advertisement process, which is step 1. Now, of course, in the advertising process, the goal is quality candidates. But again, in a lot of cases, the top 10% of salespeople, they're already happy at another organization. So with that said, although part of the goal is quality, the other half of the goal is actually getting volume through the recruiting process. And because of that volume need, and because of what I said at the beginning of the training, which is 99% of the marketplace is not interested in door-to-door sales opportunities, we naturally have to get creative in the advertisement process. To give you an example, let's say I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah, and that's where my sales office is, and I'm looking to build a solar sales team. Well, most people would just run like an outside sales representative role, or maybe just a solar sales consultant position. Well, what we do is we get a little bit creative with the titles and the job descriptions and the income ranges, and ultimately create 3, 4, maybe up to 5 different job descriptions, titles, and income ranges that somewhat align with the opportunity, but really align with getting volume into the recruiting process, and leverage that idea to get volume. So as an example, if I'm that solar sales force and I'm building a canvassing team, a D2D sales team, and a closing team, well, I'm probably advertising for entry-level sales representative, independent sales associate, outside sales representative, solar sales consultant, and maybe even in-home sales representative or high-ticket sales representative. And I'm doing these 3, 4, maybe up to 5 advertisements in Salt Lake City, and that's allowing me to increase the volume exponentially in my recruiting process. And with that strategy, we're solving the volume issue, and now we actually have a chance to recruit enough people with our 20% or whatever the retention rates are. Again, the volume is required when building a commission-based sales force. It's not recruit 3 reps next week and all of them produce $1 million in net revenue the following 12 months and you get rich overnight. There's more to it than that. And so in terms of the recruiting process, step 1 in advertisements, the goal is volume and quality. Step 2 is that administrative screening and automated scheduling process. And at a high level, what we're doing here is we're eliminating the phone interviews and taking the best people on paper that are worth pitching, and we're outbounding to them via email, text, and sometimes on the phone for those of them who are not responding via email and text, and ultimately allowing them to self-schedule with an automated scheduling link into one of the upcoming group interview presentations. So if you can imagine candidate leads coming in, and I have all my email and text templates set up, and I'm sending out emails and texts, and I'm following up with candidates with an automated group interview scheduling link. They're getting that link. They're scheduling into the next group interview. Well, you can obviously conclude that this is a fairly simple administrative screening and scheduling process. Now, the copy of your emails and the texting and the tools that you use to make all of this process work is obviously important. But now you have a basic understanding of step 2. And what we've done so far is we've had high volumes of candidate leads. We've taken them through a screening and scheduling process. On average, our recruiting team is opting out 2/3, sometimes up to 75% of the candidates that come through. And you're pushing the rest into group interview presentations for the group interviewer to come in and pitch the dream. Now, to bring it back to those averages that I talked about over a 90-day period of recruiting 24 to 36 reps over 90 days and retaining 5 to 10 plus of them, on average, assuming you're running the recruiting process correctly, that's going to require at least 600 plus applications a month. So it's 600 applications a month or 150 per week. That's resulting into 2 to 3 recruits per week.